Tonight we are not going to rush. We will walk slowly, immersing ourselves in a profound thought that comes from the past, yet continues to flow right into this very moment. Tonight, we will reflect on a very simple question, one that is so often forgotten in the midst of our busyness. Why are we here? Not to seek an answer that is overly complex or burdensome to the mind, but rather to look at ourselves through the lens of a vast, tranquil, and wondrous universe. Let us begin this quiet journey, going back to a time long ago, and finding peace in the way nature weaves life together. The first song of the ancient ocean. Imagine the world 4 billion years ago. There was no hustle and bustle of cities, no sound of machinery, no anxiety about tomorrow. The earth was simply a quiet place, blanketed by a calm, ancient ocean. Within the silence of that warm water, tiny molecules danced aimlessly, uniting and separating in the gentle embrace of time. Until, in one very quiet moment, something extraordinary occurred. A tiny molecule found a way to embrace the other molecules around it and arrange them into a reflection of itself. It had no intention. It had no master plan. It merely followed the gentle rhythm of nature, replicating itself from 1 into 2, from 2 into 4. This was the beginning of life, a tiny spark in a vast ocean of stillness. As time slowly passed, these molecules, the ancient messages we now call genes, began to realize that they needed a safe place to shelter. They began to weave protective layers, building delicate walls and creating homes for themselves. These homes gradually became more beautiful and complex. They became the leaves dancing in the wind, the birds slicing through the clouds, the fish navigating the deep oceans, and ultimately, that long dance created us. You, me, and every breathing creature on this earth. We are the masterpieces, slowly built by these ancient messages. A beautiful and fragile vessel, created so their story could gently continue across the ages. The dance of harmony and hidden kindness. Often, the world feels like a highly competitive place, where everyone must fend for themselves. It is true that the ancient messages within us have one primary drive: to continue existing. However, if we look closer into nature's embrace, we will find an incredible beauty in how life endures, not just through strength, but through immense tenderness. Have you ever seen a bird willing to give all its warmth, to protect its young from a cold storm? Or bees working tirelessly to guard their hive? Nature often appears full of sacrifice. Behind that sincere sacrifice lies a sweet secret. That kindness flows because within the bodies of those baby birds, and within that swarm of bees, resides the same ancient melody. Helping those closest to us, caring for those we love, is fundamentally the universe's way of nurturing itself. A mother's affection, a grandfather's warmth toward his grandchild, are harmonies of life's messages, recognizing and protecting each other. And what about the friendly smile we offer to a stranger? What about the hand we extend to a friend when they stumble? Life has taught us that we cannot walk alone under this vast sky. The kindness we sow, the gentleness we share, is a quiet pact with the universe. When we help someone, we are weaving a web of trust. It is this very web that will one day catch us when we are tired. No kindness is ever wasted, for in caring for one another, the entirety of life becomes stronger and more peaceful, a balance that calms the soul. In this universe, nothing is required to be perfectly rigid. Nature does not ask every creature to be the bravest or the strongest. Instead, life seeks something far more beautiful: balance. Imagine a meadow where birds live together. If all of them were constantly fighting and demanding, that meadow would be filled with pain. If all of them always retreated, no one would be able to hold their ground. Nature, in its quiet wisdom, creates diversity. There is softness, and there is firmness. There is a time to step back, and a time to stand tall. This explains why among us, some are quiet, and some are vocal. Some love to take risks, while others prefer the comfort of caution. We never need to feel guilty about the traits we carry, because every color has its own place in the grand painting of life. The most peaceful balance is often found when we can be gentle with the tender, firm with demanding circumstances, and most importantly, when we keep a wide space in our hearts for forgiveness. Carving footprints beyond ourselves. Our existence does not end at the surface of our skin. The ancient messages within us have wings that reach far outward, touching the world around us, just like a beaver building a wooden dam that calms a rushing river, or a bird weaving twigs into a warm nest. Our presence in this world alters our environment. The room we tidy up, the plants we water. In the morning, the smiles we leave on other people's faces. All of these are extensions of our existence. The peaceful environment you create in your home is a reflection of the harmony that resides within you. We are not beings isolated from the world. We breathe with the world, and each of our breaths slowly helps shape the face of this earth. As time moved forward, humanity discovered something entirely new, a miracle that transcended the chemical structures within the body. We began to create songs, weave stories, and build hope. These ideas leap from one heart to another, crossing oceans and spanning generations. Just like the very first sparks of life, formed in the primordial sea. Culture, art, and belief are the new songs of humanity. And just as we care for our bodies, we are also invited to care for our minds, selecting the songs and stories that bring peace, and gently letting go of the voices that only bring fear, flying free beyond the past. And here we arrive at the most beautiful part of this journey. Yes, we were born carrying a blueprint passed down from billions of years ago. We carry the instinct to protect, to survive, and sometimes to feel anxious about the future. However, you are not merely a leaf around by the winds of the past. You possess something truly extraordinary: consciousness, the ability to reflect, to pause for a moment, and to be aware of one's own existence is life's greatest gift. When anxiety arrives, when the urge to compete feels suffocating, you have the inner strength to take a deep breath and say, "I understand where this feeling comes from, but I do not have to follow it." We can choose not to be angry. We can choose to love someone with whom we share no bloodline at all. We can spend hours enjoying the beauty of a painting, listening to soft music, or simply gazing at the stars in the night sky with no other purpose than to feel pure joy. Our true humanity blossoms, not from our ability to follow instinct, but from our freedom to choose love, peace, and meaning above all else. The eyes of the night are growing dimmer, and the atmosphere is becoming increasingly quiet. In the midst of this silence, let us feel our own breath. In slowly, out slowly. Perhaps tonight we can gently ask ourselves, of all the things that often make us feel exhausted, which ones are merely shadows of an ancient instinct, afraid of losing out? How much of the burden we carried today could actually be left on the floor, without changing our self-worth even the slightest bit? If this universe demands nothing of us other than to simply be ourselves, what values do we consciously want to embrace? True freedom is not freedom from life, but rather the realization that we are the authors of our own story. The instincts of the past may have provided us with a stage, but you alone choose what dance you wish to perform upon it. And now, as the night grows profoundly silent, there is nothing that needs to be solved right now. All worries about tomorrow, all regrets about today, let them slowly evaporate with the night air. There is nothing left to prove to anyone. Your presence right now, simply breathing in this quiet room, is more than enough. It is time to simply rest. Breathe in slowly. Feel the coolness of the night filling your chest. Exhale slowly. Release all the tension held in your body. You are free. You are whole. And let this simple wisdom accompany your peaceful sleep tonight. Good night and rest well.